Well, when you see that montage, you know what time it is. It's time to talk about the Black Stars players. And it's at a crucial time because this was the weekend before we actually see them in action for the Black Stars. The first player on the list, unfortunately, is not part of the list, but he keeps on knocking. His name is Emmanuel Jesse. And joining me in the studio is Eshun to dissect the performances of our players this weekend. Jesse, not part of the Black Stars on the outside, but he's doing a good job by getting an impression so far this season.
A very, very great job at Empoli in Serie A. I think he's definitely cracked the code. I mean, he started with Spezia, even went to Serie B at some point, and now is, killing it in Serie A itself. I mean, in 3 matches that he's played at the right wing, of course, he's not an out-and-out striker, but he scored 2 goals, and that makes him 4th highest when it comes to goal scoring in the league this season. And he's also had an expected goals of 0.9 as well, which is quite good. And he's outperforming that expected goal tally by scoring 2 goals. And so he's knocking on the door quite early. But again, he plays as a winger, and that makes it a bit difficult for Owuraku because he has a very, very big squad of wingers in the side that he can use. Antoine Semenyo plays as one, Iñaki Williams plays as one, even Brandon Thomas plays as one too. Yeah. So it just makes it tough. But Emmanuel Jesse is making a very, very good one for himself. And also, I mean, in Italy itself, in the Serie A, he's in the top 5 when it comes to goal scorers for Ghanaians. He's 3rd. And so that goes to show how important he is in that competition and how good he's been in the Serie A.
Well, speaking of his competition, Antoine Semenyo, he's also had a very incredible start to the season for FC Bournemouth. He's coming into the Black Stars. Everyone's comments seems to be a bit of a held-back approach because they're like, yeah, we see you do for Bournemouth, but he's never really got into 3rd, 4th gear for the Black Stars, has he?
Yeah, and it's understandable. We've seen him a number of times. He's scored a couple of goals for the Black Stars too. I remember that against Angola, which was, in the dying embers of the game, and he brought such excitement to the Black Stars faithful. But we've not seen him really click when it comes to goal scoring, and he's been the number 9 for some periods. Even when Iñaki was in the side, sometimes Iñaki was shifted to the right wing to accommodate Semenyo. But this season, he started pretty well. And it goes to show, I mean, Jamie Redknapp came out and said he's the star of Bournemouth. And it's very understandable. He has contributed directly to 60% of the goals for Bournemouth, which is quite great. 3 goal contributions out of the 5 goals they've scored so far this season. And it goes to show how important he is. But again, he really has to transcend that into the Black Star setup. I think this is probably the best opportunity to do that. He's coming in with a very fiery form, having scored just against Everton as they bounce back from a 2-goal deficit to win by 3-2.
Well, let's move from the attacking department and come back to Jerome Opoku, who has been slowly eased into the national team setup. He's found a new home in Turkey, and he's also settling in quite well.
Settling in really, really well. I mean, he started with Fulham, when he was a youngster, and he had to go on a number of loans before actually settling in Başakşehir. And a funny thing, he actually grew up idolizing Gareth Bale. He started playing on the wings, and he moved on to the centre back, even playing at left back at some point. And also he started developing that kind of love for Sergio Ramos. And we know Sergio Ramos, when he goes forward, he can cause a lot of damage in attack as well as defend quite well, and he's very good on the ball. And so getting that 2 assists so far with Başakşehir, it goes to show the kind of player he is. He likes to try and create opportunities for his teammates, just like Sergio Ramos does when he gets the opportunity. And so it's quite good for him. It's a great start for a club that he's joined permanently. I mean, we saw him score about 4 goals when he joined them on loan last season, in the January transfer window. And so he's, growing very, very well into Başakşehir, and he's doing quite well. And I think if he's getting the opportunity in the Black Stars, we could see, good things from him.
Well, speaking of opportunity, Ibrahim Sadiq is one that would also be wishing for one with the Black Stars. We've seen him in the youth setup. He's moved a lot in the past few years.
Yeah.
In them, he's also in Netherlands now, as an Alkmaar, and started the season really well. Is he someone that you see as an opportunity for him coming anytime soon in the national team?
He could. I mean, if he continues this run of form with Alkmaar, I think 2 goal contributions so far. in about 2-3 games. I think it's a good start for him. And he's gone through a number of troubles. He did play with Mohamed Kudus, and at some point he was regarded as even better than Mohamed Kudus. So we hope to see him, develop in an environment like the Eredivisie. We saw, Ghanaians come in and then excel, getting places in the Black Stars. We saw Matthew Amwa back in the day do that. We saw Mohamed Kudus also do that with Ajax as well. And seeing him actually growing in Ajax Alkmaar, I think it's a very, very good thing. And hopefully if he continues that form, he can get a look in, because, I mean, there would be places, and he's quite young still. And so with Otuado looking at building a team for the future and looking at young players, I think he's one that kind of fits the profile if he does, perform very, very well.
I think the final one that we have on our list is Ransford Yeboah Königsdorfer, who has the most goals and assists in the Bundesliga 2 this season. He's still with Hamburg and came in with the national team, but unfortunately, he's been dropped since the AFCON. Didn't have the best of tournament. But thank you very much, Bill, for joining us this evening on Sports Station to talk about the Ghanaian players.